Hi, I'm Andy Jones, your host of Art Talk. Today we're going to be painting a winter scene using a very limited palette. I'm here in the studio with my buddy Stephen White.
I feel like I need to put on a jacket.
I'm
chilly.
telling you, it's cold for this particular painting. As I mentioned, we're going to be using a limited palette. So one color that we're going to be needing is white. So we'll put some white out on our palette. And we're going to be using ultramarine blue.
Now, Andy, if I'm painting snow, can I not just cover the canvas in white?
You cannot, because snow is anything but white. So there's no just painting snow white, or painting Snow White.
You mean Snow White's not in this painting with a lot of white snow?
She is not, nor are any of her dwarfs. Ultramarine blue and burnt sienna, and we're going to make a mixture of ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. And this is going to be a very dark, kind of moody color. And we want kind of a grayish color here. And so I'm going to clean my palette knife off, take some titanium white, and to this titanium white we're going to add a little bit of our burnt sienna and ultramarine blue mix. So you can see that it's kind of a nice grayish blue color. And I'm just going to add some more of my dark mix to this, and I might want to add a little tiny bit more burnt sienna just to warm that color up a little bit. And even though our scene is very, very cold looking, we don't want it to be all one tone.
So that's why we're not just painting snow as white?
That's correct.
Got it.
All right, so that's a nice kind of gray tone there. All right, so I'm going to start about 3 fingers width up on the left side of my canvas, and I'm just going to lightly sketch a little kind of a horizon line on my painting, and then I'm going to also kind of sketch in the trunk of a tree, which is going to be about 1 inch wide, and it is going to lean a little bit to the right. So this is all I need to get started on my painting. I'm going to put out some blending gel on my palette so that I can have a little extra time with painting in the sky and the foreground. So I'm going to start by picking up a little bit of the blending gel on my brush and some titanium white on the same brush. And we're just mixing the blending gel in with the white, and we're going to just paint this right through the center of our canvas from edge to edge. And then I'm going to take this lighter gray mixture and I'm going to paint some of that kind of at my horizon line and just kind of skip over the tree. All right, so this color looks a little too brown to me now. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that ultramarine blue and just kind of brush mix that in, and then come back and we'll just alter this color a little bit by adding that blue. All right, so we're going to blend on up into our white area and just let a little bit of this color kind of trail off. And now I'm going to pick up some more of that white and brush that right here at the top of this little area, and then I'm going to add some of that gray mixture and a little bit of blending gel. And because we've got that blending gel in there, we've got time to softly blend our colors together. Now I'm going to pick up some blending gel and a little bit of our original dark mixture, which, as you know, was ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. And we're going to brush some of that dark color on at the top of the canvas, and we're just going to blend that back down so that we've got this dark, then some of our gray down into our white, and we've just got a nice light area in the center of our sky, and that's darker at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to pick up a little bit more of my white, and here's where it's not going to be white anymore, Stephen, because we've got dirty gray in our brush, and we no longer have kind of pure white snow. We've got some of this gray color and some of our original dark color in our brush, and I'm brushing back and forth with some blending gel to help stretch this color out. And as you can see, our white snow is not white. All right, so this is stage one of our painting, and we can set our brush down and we'll come back when this is all dry.
I'd like to take a minute to thank Plaid Enterprises for sponsoring Art Talk. They are the makers of folk art acrylics, which I absolutely love using. I've used this paint since I was a young tot, and now that I'm an old fart, I still use this paint. We have a 17-piece set that we've curated just for you. Ordering information is in the description below, and we also have great brushes for you. We have a 7-piece set of Folk Art Select Firm Bristle brushes. These are absolutely incredible. I use them every time I paint. And I've never done that in my entire life. Now, let's get back to our video.
Okay, Stephen, we're going to start to paint in some background trees to kind of give us a little bit of a forest back there. And to do that, I'm going to take my number 8 flat brush and a little puddle of water here on the palette.
Where do you imagine this painting being set?
Somewhere north of Atlanta. We are,
Oh,
here.
so Chattanooga?
Ned, I think it might need to be a little north of Chattanooga. What I've got is some thinned down dark mixture, which was Brilliant Ultramarine and Burnt Sienna. So because this paint is transparent, this is going to set the trees further back. And I'm going to just start next to my tree trunk, and I'm just going to dab on some tree shapes. Now, that's not very definitive, but that's really what we're doing. And we don't want our tree shapes to have kind of that lollipop top, like they've just been cut, rounded off like mushrooms. We want to give them kind of natural tree shapes. And you can pat these with your finger to make them a little softer at the top. And so over here, we're going to just take a little bit of that moisture out of our brush, and we're going to just give some height to some of these trees. Again, thinking tree-like shapes, and we're dabbing on the corner of our brush, and we're kind of letting the brush roll from side to side. And if anything looks too dark, go ahead and just pat it with your finger and make it look lighter. And then we're going to pick up some more of that transparent paint on our brush, and we're just going to dab and kind of fill in this whole tree mass with this very transparent color. And I would say that you could just brush this color on, but if you do, it will not look the same as if you dab this color on continuously. So nothing looks hard about this, does it, Stephen?
Nope. It's a lot of dabbing, at least for the moment.
All right, so now I'm going to take some more of my dark mixture on my brush, and I'm going to thin it down with just a little touch of water. Not quite as thin as this first layer was. And I'm going to start right up next to my tree, and I'm going to dab some darker color on. And we're not going to carry this up as far as we did that first layer. And this tree line doesn't need to mirror the previous tree line. It can be different. Using small amounts of that paint. Okay, we're going to put out another color on our palette now. We're going to put out some burnt umber, which is a nice dark rich brown color. And we're going to take some of our dark ultramarine blue and burnt sienna color and add a tiny bit of burnt umber to that and just brush mix this in. And we're going to start right next to our tree, and we're going to tap some of this dark color on and do some on the left side of the tree as well. And this is really kind of filling in the base of this little tree section. And again, we're just rolling this brush as we're tapping this color on. Okay, and so those are our background trees, and we're going to give this a quick dry and we'll be back to painting our main tree. All right, so we've got this main tree to put in, and so I've got my dark mixture of ultramarine blue and burnt sienna, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of burnt umber on my brush, and I'm going to start on the left side of this tree, and then I'm going to carry this down and just kind of start making some little roots. So again, with our dark mixture and burnt umber, we're going to carry this up the left side of this tree. And then when I get up near the top, I'm going to pick up some white on my brush and just continue to create the top of this tree with that lighter brownish mixture. And I'm going to go back to my darker mix and carry some of this up the right side of the tree trunk. And we're going to create some roots with this dark color. And we're going to carry these roots down and a little to the right. And some can go toward the left. And we're going to kind of begin to fill in the bottom part of the tree trunk by using little vertical choppy strokes. And we're going to keep this darker on the left side of our tree. Okay, we're going to pick up some white and come back down here on our palette, and we're going to brush mix a grayish brown tone, and we're going to put this over on the right side of our tree. And again, we're just going to put this on with some short choppy vertical marks, and we're going to add a little bit more white to this mixture. And down here at the bottom of the tree, we're going to just start tapping our brush in this, and this is kind of where we make our bark on the tree. And I'll take some more white and start over here on the right side of the tree up here at the top, and we'll just add some more little bark marks. And then we can darken this a little bit with some of our burnt umber and dark mix. And that's how we create the basic shape of our tree. Now we're going to start to paint in the branches of our tree, and I'm going to show you here on the palette with a marker how we are going to make our tree limbs. We're going to take and we're going to pull a line. It can be kind of curved, can be more straight, but then we'll pull a line off of that, and we'll pull a line off of that, and we just keep pulling lines off of other lines. And that's how we get this nice kind of tree limbs going on. What we don't want to do is we don't want to make these kind of sweeping, curving branches. Because once you do that, you'll end up with like curly willow for your tree branches, and that's absolutely not what we want. I'm going to dip my liner brush in water, and I'm going to pick up some burnt umber plus a little bit of our dark mix, and we're going to thin this paint down till we make a nice kind of fluid consistency, and we're going to just make a nice branch. So we're going to start kind of in the tree a little bit, and we're going to pull a nice branch out. And we're going to take this branch and we're going to start making more branches from it. So we're going to pull another branch down here, And we'll pull one off of there. So we've got a few branches branching off of there. We can pull another branch going up this other way. And we'll make a branch off of there. And we'll make another big branch coming off this way. And another one up here, just pulling off of. Now keep thinning your paint down. And we make some more branches. And these can overlap one another. And this is where you need to practice using a light touch so that you can paint thin, fine little branches. Okay, and I'm going to turn my painting upside down so it's a little easier for me to pull some lines. I'm going to pull another branch kind of starting inside the tree. And we pull some branches off of that and some more little branches. And where you see you need some branches, just come in there and pull little twigs off. And we know this is up north where it's very cold because there's not a leaf on this tree.
Absolutely not.
All right, so we need to put some branches coming off the other side of this tree. All right, and as I look, I think I need some branches coming up this way. Fill in some of that space there. And we can do another little branch over here on this side. But by pulling one small branch or twig off of another one, you end up with a nice branch effect that looks very natural. Okay, so that's our tree, and we need to add a little bit of snow to this. So I'm going to use a little folk art terracotta in Snowbank. It's the name of the color. It's very appropriate. And I'm going to use my palette knife to kind of add in this snow on top of our snow. So you can see I'm just kind of using this palette knife to push a little snow up between the tree roots and push some along the painted snow area. And when you have almost no paint on your palette knife, you can just kind of create what looks like little snow spatters over your trees in the back. And you really do have to have almost no paint on your palette knife in order to get this to look nice and somewhat realistic. If you have too much paint, you're going to create a big kind of blob, and you will not be happy with that. And you can let this kind of scatter up into the sky to give the illusion of little snowflakes. Snow back here. And I'm just going to pull that down. And we can just pull some of that up. Give a little illusion that we've kind of lost the separation there between the sky and the ground. And we'll take a little bit more of our paint and kind of push on a little bit more deliberate snow. And so you can see now, Stephen, why our snow is not just white.
It's all making sense now.
So I'm going to call this little snow scene done. So again, we've used a very, very limited palette, and I think we've created a pretty nice little snow scene. Well, I hope you enjoyed painting today's snow scene. If you've enjoyed today's lesson, be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time we have a new video. The downloadable link for your pattern is in the description box below, as is a link to the Art Talk paint kit. Leave us a comment, because that means a lot to us, to let us know how we're doing and what you think of our videos. It's much appreciated. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.